Level 1. No magical sensitivity. Muggles, the most blissfully ignorant species in magical history. They live beside dragons, portals, and haunted castles and still think it's a gas leak? Muggles can't sense magic, not even a flicker. Their bodies don't have a magical core, so a wand in their hand is just a fancy stick. They can't see Hogwarts either. It literally looks like a pile of ruins with a do not enter sign. If a Muggle walks by the leaky cauldron, their brain just skips it, like the world's most selective ad blocker. When something impossible happens, their minds autocorrect. A flying car? Must have been a weather balloon. A dragon in London? Probably a parade. Voldemort's return? Fake news. Even when magic slaps them in the face, enchantments rewrite their memories. The Ministry's Confundus charms and Muggle repelling spells kick in instantly. They'll walk away, confused, muttering something about needing milk. Examples? Think of the Millennium Bridge twisting apart as Death Eaters tear through London, and the Muggles still blaming structural failure. Or the drivers who somehow made room for the night bus without ever noticing it was there. Even when Harry blows up his aunt like a balloon, the Ministry wipes every trace of it. They witness chaos, then go back to arguing about taxes. To a wizard, Muggles are like background NPCs in a game they don't know they're in, completely harmless until they invent nuclear weapons. Because let's be honest, wizards fear one thing more than Voldemort: Muggles with science. Level 2. Minimal magical sensitivity. Squibs, the almost witches and wizards. Born into magic, surrounded by it, but never able to touch it. Imagine being invited to Hogwarts every Christmas just to clean the floors. Squibs are what happens when destiny forgets to press enable magic. They've got wizard blood, magical lineage, but zero output. No spells, no charms, no spark, just vibes. Yet unlike Muggles, they see things. They can walk right past the leaky cauldron and actually notice it. They see Hogwarts for what it is, not a pile of ruins. They can even sense magical creatures lurking in the dark. They just can't do anything about them. It's like watching a fire and having no water. Arabella Figg saw Dementors attack Harry Potter and could testify about it in court. Filch, the most bitter janitor in history. Man lives in a castle made of living magic and can't even fix a light with a wand. Tried to take a quick spell course, still failed. Squibs exist in the weird limbo, too magical for Muggles, too powerless for wizards. They sell wands, clean classrooms, feed cats that spy for the Ministry, and carry that quiet, tragic awareness that they'll never belong. They're the ghosts of the wizarding world, not dead, just permanently left out. Level 3. Latent sensitivity. Pre-Hogwarts kids. This is when magic starts showing up like puberty, but with explosions. You're 5 years old, crying because somebody stole your toy, and suddenly the toy bursts into flames. Congratulations, you're magical. Also, grounded forever. The stage is called accidental magic. Raw, emotional, unpredictable power. Triggered by fear, anger, excitement, basically every emotion a child has before breakfast. Harry made the glass vanish at the zoo. Neville fell out of a window and bounced like a basketball. Lily Evans made flowers bloom just to make her sister jealous. And Tom Riddle? Well, he made people suffer for fun. That's when you know you've got talent and trauma. The stronger the core, the crazier the magic. Some kids just levitate cupcakes. Others, like Ariana Dumbledore, can level a house. Her uncontrolled bursts of magic accidentally killed her mother, proving one thing: untamed power is the most dangerous magic of all. The Ministry even has a department just to clean up these messes, the Accidental Magic Reversal Squad. Imagine having that job. Sorry ma'am, your child turned the dog into a teapot again. At this level, you can't study magic. You are magic. It's pure instinct. No wand, no Latin words, no logic. Just emotion meeting chaos. And yet, this stage reveals everything, because by age 11, every kid at Hogwarts already knows what they're made of. Who explodes under pressure, who glows in it. The difference between an ordinary witch and a prodigy starts right here, in that uncontrollable moment when fear becomes power. Level 4. Trained wizard or witch. The average Hogwarts graduate, basically the magical version of, I got my degree, now what? These are the witches and wizards who can technically do magic, but let's just say not every graduate becomes Dumbledore. Some become accountants, but with wands. They've studied charms, potions, transfiguration. They've even survived Snape's class without crying too much. They know how to fix glasses, levitate feathers, and brew love potions that definitely shouldn't be used at office parties. They're fully qualified to live in the magical world, but not necessarily to change it. Nonverbal magic? Still working on it. Wandless magic? Don't even try. Ask one to cast a Patronus and half of them will just panic and think of chocolate. These are your ministry clerks, shopkeepers, Quidditch staff, the magical middle class. Competent, reliable, and very proud of their NEWTs. Until they meet someone who can cast the same spell silently and faster. Then it's just depression with sparkles. If we had to pick the poster children for this level, it'd be Ron Weasley, Neville Longbottom, and maybe Luna Lovegood, the trio of accidentally competent. They're not prodigies, but they've got heart, timing, and occasionally save the world by doing something weirdly effective. Ron wins battles through loyalty and dumb luck. Neville peaks when plants are involved. And Luna, well, Luna's in her own dimension entirely, but somehow always right. Most of them stop advancing after Hogwarts. They master household charms, defensive jinxes, and whatever spell helps them not explode their coffee mug every morning. But deep down, they know the truth. Magic isn't about grades, it's about instinct. Still, these folks keep the wizarding world running. They repair broken wands, teach flying lessons, and make sure the flu network doesn't explode. They're not heroes or villains, they're just functional, the backbone of the magical world, and the reason most kids still survive school. Level 5. Exceptional talent. The gifted ones, the witches and wizards who make everyone else at Hogwarts look like they're still stuck on page 1 of Standard Book of Spells, Volume 1. At this level, magic stops being memorized and starts being personalized. These are the innovators, the ones who push boundaries just to see what breaks. They experiment, create, and occasionally detonate. Where a level 4 wizard follows instructions, a level 5 wizard writes their own. They don't need rules because they're too busy inventing new ones. Their magic isn't just stronger, it's smarter. A duel, a potion, even a prank becomes an expression of identity. Snape, he wasn't just good at potions, he rewrote the textbook out of spite. Half-Blood Prince energy, petty and brilliant. His Sectumsempra spell literally made violence elegant. Bellatrix Lestrange, chaotic evil meets ballet training. Every duel was a performance piece titled Scream Louder, I'm winning. You could tell she enjoyed Avada Kedavra, the way artists enjoy brushstrokes. And yeah, the boy who lived, aka the boy who broke everything, is also here. Harry somehow turned a mid-tier disarming charm into a weapon of mass humiliation. Expelliarmus, the spell every first year learns, and he used it to beat the darkest wizard alive. The killing curse, more like Avada Stupidavra. Also, only Harry could make chocolate a prescribed medical treatment. Fight a Dementor? Have a Snickers. Aurors live here too, the combat veterans of the wizarding world. Kingsley, Moody, Lupin, they duel like they've got PTSD and a deadline. Shield charm, counter curse, disarm, dodge, all in the time it takes a muggle to blink. They make wand fights look like choreography filmed by Michael Bay. Tonks, elite metamorphagus, changing her face mid-conversation because why settle for one identity when you can have 12? She could infiltrate, distract, and flirt, all in the same transformation sequence. And then there are Fred and George Weasley, two pranksters who accidentally became industrial innovators. Their joke shop, not comedy, research and development for the Ministry's future nightmares. Portable swamps, Peruvian instant darkness powder, skeeving snack boxes, each one a patent waiting to happen. Level 5 wizards treat magic like jazz, improvisation with explosions. They invent new spells, fuse disciplines, and occasionally blow something up just to see how it works. They're clever, dangerous, and a little unhinged, which coincidentally is also the exact recruitment criteria for the Auror office. So yeah, level 4 wizards study magic, level 5 wizards remix it. Level 6, legendary magical mastery. This is the endgame of magic sensitivity. At this level, magic doesn't need to be cast, it just needs to be felt. A wand, optional. Words, cute but unnecessary. Their awareness is total. They can sense every charm, curse, and magical current in the room, probably even the one you tried to hide behind that bookshelf. They feel the pulse of magic in air, stone, even people. It's like having magical Wi-Fi, but with 100% signal everywhere. At this point, spells, alchemy, and transfiguration are less subjects and more dialects. They switch between them mid-sentence. Attack, defend, heal, and redecorate, all in one spell. Their control is so deep that they can bend rules other wizards don't even know exist. And the ones who reached it, they're the reason textbooks have prefaces that say, "Don't try this at home." Merlin wasn't just a wizard, he was the software update for reality. He took raw chaos, organized it, and created the first magical operating system. Every charm, potion, and enchantment since then is basically running on Merlin OS. You say wizard, the universe says, reboot required, installing ancient brilliance. Salazar Slytherin enchanted Hogwarts so intensely it developed trust issues, secret chambers, a basilisk roommate, and centuries of unresolved family trauma. He didn't just build a castle, he left behind a 1,000-year-old personality test that still hisses insults in Parseltongue. To this day, Hogwarts acts like it remembers the breakup. Nicholas Flamel solved immortality like it was a weekend project, perfected the Philosopher's Stone, lived forever, then ghosted humanity because the Ministry kept asking for follow-up questions. The man didn't just beat death, he blocked it on every platform. Morgana Le Fay blurred illusion and reality so perfectly that scholars still can't decide if she's a myth, a ghost, or just on permanent vacation in another dimension. She didn't just master transformation, she weaponized perception. Every story about her ends with, or maybe that's what she wanted you to think. That's not mystery, that's mastery. Then came the modern greats. Dumbledore, the only man who could duel, philosophize, and emotionally manipulate you into therapy all at once. He fought Grindelwald and broke reality doing it. Their duel made the sky glitch. He faced Voldemort in the Ministry and treated the killing curse like a light show. And that firestorm in the cave? Yeah, he turned a swarm of undead into soup with one spell and still apologized to Harry afterward. Grindelwald turned charm into warfare and speeches into weapons. He didn't cast Avada Kedavra, he cast influence. His Protego Diabolica made blue fire so judgmental, it burned you for bad vibes. He didn't rule with terror, he ruled with persuasion. The man basically ran a world domination campaign with better branding and actual fireworks. And Voldemort? Pure talent, zero chill. He split his soul like a subscription plan and still couldn't keep his nose attached. A man so obsessed with immortality he died twice. He treated fear like Bitcoin, invested everything, lost it all to a kid whose battle plan was love, luck, and whatever spell comes to mind. Few ever reach this level. Those who do rewrite magical history and occasionally delete the rest of us in the process. But this was just the beginning. Next Stickman Hogwarts lesson, the 7 levels of spells in Harry Potter. Snape's about to start. Click now before he deducts 50 points for existing.